But what we don't want to focus on is what we're doing to contribute to the problem, even if just a little bit. We need to start thinking about how we represent ourselves, how we talk, how we act, how we deal with police. We need to stop talking, acting, and living like thugs and start talking, acting, and living like men. Stop making a conscious decision to fit the description.
All right, Malik King is the man in that video, and he's joining us right now in New York. Good to see you.
Good to see you, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. So what's been the reception from this challenge? Are you seeing that, young men are pulling up their pants more, or anyone commenting to you about the video challenge you issued?
Well, ma'am, I'm noticing that there are people who approve of the challenge, there are people who disapprove of the challenge. Since I issued the challenge, I've had an overwhelming amount of support from people, friend requests, over 3,000 friend requests, just inboxes, just telling me that they support the challenge and they support what it stands for. It is a challenge that is forcing individuals to think about the way that they choose to represent themselves and how your presentation can influence, perception.
So what's the message in your view that is being sent when a young man wears his pants? It's no longer just slightly, below the waistline. Now it's all the way like under the butt, right about the thigh area. What's the message that's being sent in your view? What are they trying to say?
Well, what I'm trying to say, ma'am, is that this trend is not something that began in the hip-hop culture, like some like to say. It's not a trend that began somewhere in the black community. This is a trend that began in prison. And we know for various reasons it began in prison. And I don't think that any trend that comes from prison, a negative place, is something that we should be allowing to continue. It's not something that we should be willing to enforce. It should be something that we want to keep in prison where it belongs. It doesn't belong with the society.
All right, well, I'm going to open this up and invite a couple more people to the panel and talk some more about this. Let's bring in Tara Setmeyer, co-host of Real News on the Blaze TV, and CNN political commentator Mark Lamont Hill, also back. So, Mark, let me hear from you, because apparently, I hear, you don't like this challenge. Why?
I disagree with its premise, and I disagree with the belief that this has anything to do with young black men being criminalized. I saw the campaign, I saw the full 44-second clip, and I also read the description. And it suggests, and the brother just said it a little bit right now, that somehow there's a connection between black male profiling and our pants being sagging. Well, the truth is, before black people pulled their pants down, they were still getting locked up. So,
and how useful, in your view, might it be?
Well, I applaud Malik, because what he's saying, he's 100% correct. Now, I find it hard to believe that Mark would be as educated as he is, as much as he has contributed to the black community and trying to overcome the negativity that's in the community, that he would actually sit here and try to justify emulating bad behavior. And also, to set the record straight, my husband was a correctional officer early in his career, and it absolutely, the sagging of the pants is absolutely originating from prison culture. It started with not being able to wear belts, and then it turned into something else with a sexual invitation in prison. So for anyone to sit here and try to make excuses for bad behavior, it's easier to perpetuate victimhood and blame everyone else for issues rather than teaching responsibility for your behavior and empowerment. And I think that's the message that Malik is saying. In the real world, presentation matters. Professor Mark Lamont Hill,
but that's not the point.
Your pants sagging down? If you stood up right now, are your pants sagging down below your behind? I don't think so.
Mark.
Well, I'm nearly 36 years old, so no, my pants aren't sagging. At 16, they were, and I think I turned out okay. I still got an Ivy League PhD. And
Wait a
Malik,
minute.
I grew up in the hood, too. I grew up in the
you
hood.
were wearing your pants down low, like we're seeing
right
now?
Yeah, of course. Why? Because that's what people do. Again, I think you all are making two different arguments and conflating the two. Hear me out. Whether or not we like sagging pants, when I walk into a store and I see a kid with his butt hanging out, I don't like it either. I don't like the way it looks. And I tell kids, when I taught high school, I told kids to pull their pants up because I didn't like the way it looks. Criminological data.
Exactly.
Malik, why don't you button this up?
What I said specifically is we need to focus on how we choose to represent ourselves. We need to focus on how we choose to represent ourselves, and that we can contribute even if just a little way. And I made sure I did say that even if just a little way.
And I'm saying
because why is there, and the reason why I say that is not only why do we have a strong police presence in our community? That's something that you have to be realistic about. Is it only because we are being racially profiled, or is it only because the cops have a reason to be in black communities in the first place?
All right.
Malik,
All right,
can I ask Malik one quick question? Can I ask Malik one quick question?
Make it quick.
Yes, sir.
Malik, before people were pulling their pants down, did we still have a strong police presence in the same issues we're dealing with police right now?
Yes, we did, sir. Yes, we did. Yes, we
Ding,
did.
ding,
But that was
ding.
then, and this is not.
That's my point.
Why
All
not?
right.
What is individual choice and responsibility? Every single person in this country has a choice to either behave like a criminal or they have a choice to behave like a reasonable person and carry themselves with respect.
I
think
wish
all
we
that
had
we're
more
trying
time
to say-
because I know this has hit a
Low
nerve
pants.
with everybody, and you know, there's so many more sentiments in which to express, but we are going to have to leave it right here.